Sleepy's marathon run actually. Like that one finished with a really good time, but this didn't finish. So at least you get something of like an ending. You get like a score. You get like a or something. If you finish the game, you get like 2 points. And you get any points. But yeah, we don't do those this time around because we didn't get any. This is bad though. I know this game can be like
testing 1 2 testing 1 2 testing. Alright, checking if the microphone is working. Might be a little bit soft. This is a newer Blue Yeti. Hopefully it's working well.
Well, so it is. That's how it goes. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it nevertheless. If you like RNG in your games, I could definitely recommend picking up this run. You can ask Tetsuo or me or any of the other runners about this.
Shake!
Testing 1 2 testing. Okay, I can turn that down.
Turn my mic to 1 1.
Okay, it's turned down now. Is that helping a little bit, or is that still too loud? Okay, good. Yeah, I dropped it about 8 decibels. I can try. Okay, how's that? Testing 1 2. Welcome to Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run here on the Superstars Marathon. We're going to be going for win the game with the fastest time. Excellent. So it looks like the sound is doing well. Our time that we're trying to beat is 15 minutes and 22 seconds. So it's going to be quite the challenge.
Take your base. Fly ball. You're out. Turn my mic to 1 1. Fly ball. You're in my place of 1-1.
Hi everybody, my name is BGRich419, and I am going to be playing Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run. So this is one of the later sports games on Super Nintendo. One of my favorites. A lot of people are probably more familiar with the N64 games, or maybe even the first game that was on Super Nintendo. Both really cool games. This one, again, one of my favorites. So what we're going to try to do today is we're going to try to break the record for winning a game at the fastest time. The current record, I was able to overtake that one last year, and I am at 15 minutes and 22 seconds. This is done in the MLB Challenge mode. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into MLB Challenge, which is the mode where you play all of the other teams in the league. We're going to do one player versus computer, and I'll walk you through some of the different options here. So this game was based on the 1995 Major League Baseball season. So you'll notice some of these teams here, some of the newer teams at the time, the Marlins and the Rockies were newer. You'll see some of these outdated logos. My team is from Cleveland. They're now known as the Guardians. So this is their old team, the Indians. They're the team that I'm most comfortable with on this game, so that's who I'll be using today. The first team on the ladder, that's the Pittsburgh Pirates. So what happens in the challenge mode is you're playing all road games, and you get to see all of the different ballparks that the other teams have. Alright, so some of the criteria for this run, it either has to be on a Super Nintendo or certain emulators. It says that smartphone emulators are banned, and then SNES and any version of SNES 9X, 1.4X or under are banned. So the version I'm using is 1.60. This is on an emulator. With the lineup, you'll see that this is in a National League park. For this run, I'm going to leave the designated hitter off. I believe there is the option to turn it back on, since this is considered more like an exhibition game, but otherwise I'm going to keep it with as is. I'm going to keep the default lineups here. You'll find that a lot of these players were made to be comparable to the people in real life. Like in this case here, people that were familiar with this Cleveland team, one of my favorite players of all time, Kenny Lofton, is Jimmy Stealth. Fred Rivera was Omar Vizquel. Luis Santana was Carlos Baerga. Frank Liberty was Albert Bell. Bill Stevens was Paul Sorrento. Juan Ortega was Manny Ramirez. Kicker Jones was Jim Thome, and then Ted Gates, I think he was supposed to be a combination of Sandy Alomar and Tony Pena. It's really weird because they did something where if people were brothers in real life, they tried to put it so that they were brothers in the game, but you'll notice that his brother, Roberto Alomar, older brother, they didn't give them the same last name. So it was the only case I can think of in this game where the brothers didn't have the same name. Alright, so the pitching staff here, I'm going to keep with the default lineups. Billy Walker, you can actually see some of the different ratings here. They have different specialty pitches. So in Billy Walker's case, he throws a slider, James Hyatt throws a super curve, and so on. So you'll see some of these different stats, different attributes. You'll see that some of them may throw lefty or throw righty. Yes, Manny Ramirez was on the Indians from, he was drafted by them back around 1991, I believe. I actually found an old baseball card of his in some of my old stuff, and yeah, he played for Cleveland from 1994 to 2000. Yeah, it was really interesting, change of ownerships, and he got rushed back to play in and got injured, and then he ended up taking the money with Boston, where his agent did a good job of getting him a maximum contract there. Whatever they wanted, they were able to pull it off. Alright, so this game is cool because there were scouting reports, and you could actually look at who they were. Looking at some of these names here, I think, I'm trying to remember, I haven't looked at their lineup in a while, so a lot of these players, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head who they were anymore, because this was after Bonds and Bonilla had left. Bonds and Bonilla left in the early 90s, and are on different teams now. So the pitcher I'm facing is Raccoon Davis. As part of this challenge, I need to show the game options. It has to be a 9-inning game, and like I said, I'll leave the designated hitter off. Auto fielding must also be off. So if you have auto fielding on, what that means is that the computer will assist you in moving the fielders around, but then you still have to throw the baseball. So if you're trying to throw it to first base, second base, third base, or home plate, trying to hit the cutoff man, you still have to control that part. But in this case here, I want to control all of it. I don't want their help. Fielder assist is allowed to be on. So fielder assist, it'll have a little bit of where it tries to start cueing you to the right spot, which is allowed in this mode, but it's still one of those things where you still have to be good at fielding and be able to do it yourself. Alright, so we're about to get started. It's just some other things with the controls. With the directional pad, it's like how a lot of games were in this era, where they started introducing not only differences with pitching, so down is a fastball, left is curveball, right is the specialty pitch, up is changeup, and then if you just press the B button without anything, it's like lobbing the baseball. With batting, you could pull it, you can push it, you could hit ground balls, or you could hit fly balls. So you could try to do that more to the way that you wanted to do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer as soon as this clicks the baseball.
Play ball.
Alright, so the strategy here, I just want to get a run on the board. It doesn't matter how. In this case, I'm going to just try to get it with these first people in the order, and that's great. So I already have a base runner on first base. Fred Rivera, they don't give him good speed on this, so I'm going to sacrifice bunt and move Jimmy Stealth to second base. That was actually a really good bunt. It's too bad he didn't have good speed here. Alright, so now that gives me a couple shots here to drive in the run. So this is Luis Santana, who has really good ratings on this game. Also, they messed up the speed with... Well, there we go. I still managed to get kind of like a double. There's some glitches with the way the AI was programmed. And so in this case, I actually could literally sacrifice bunt, which is what I'm going to do. Even though that's Albert Bell, he wouldn't do that in real life. We just want the run. And he beat it out, so that's even better. All right, so for good measures, I'm going to take another insurance run here. I want to go up 2-0. And then after that, I'm just going to start getting out on purpose. All right, so we're going to bunt with Stevens. Send the runner home. Alright, go ahead, get tagged out here. Frank Liberty, okay. Half of the inning's over, so let's go to the bottom of the first. Alright, so I'm up 2-0. We're making good time. Alright, and then so there's different strategies about how to get quick outs. In this case here, too, I'll probably give up a lot of base hits. The main thing is not to get rattled by that. And then again, just depending on which pitcher it is, you figure with this game, people that had a super curveball, it was the ideal. I think it was one of the more effective pitches. All right, and then we get a rundown here, and didn't work right there on the first try. I got it on the second try, so we got the double play. All right. There were knuckleballers in this game, so that was not completely new to baseball games, but the way that they depicted the knuckleballs, where the ball would just go all over the place, was really cool in this game. It's definitely something that was unique to the Griffey series here, or at least for this game. Alright, so this is the part where I'm going to start just taking outs. Okay, that's 2 down. The next one here, Ted Gates, and same thing. Quick out. Oh no, foul ball. Shame. Alright, let's try again. Let's try to keep this one fair. Up, foul ball again. So at this point, I'm just gonna do whatever, bunt it, throw me out, or it'd be a strikeout if it went foul. So that's gonna be the end of the first inning. We're in good shape right now. The end of the top of the second. So we're now in the bottom of the second, and we got a foul out for the first pitch. That's good. All right, so Tony Topper, same thing here, and I'm basically just pitching for contact or swings and misses. I'm not really trying to get them hit it to any particular places. If you notice, this game actually has it where you can rearrange the fielders and put them, do shifts with the outfield at least. It was one of the first games to do that. In this case, though, I'd rather just, in the interest of a speed run, leave everything as the default settings. So I'm not really trying to get them to push the ball or pull the ball. I just want them to put it in the play. I just want to get the out. Yeah, so they didn't really do wild pitches so much. You could have wild throws. I'm going to try to pick this runner off. Okay, no luck there. It tends to work more on season mode when you want to pick people off. Okay, so that's perfect there. Okay, another out. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the third inning. Another thing, too, with fielding, addressing the whole concept of like where they're wild pitches or wild throws, they did have it where B is a regular throw to the base or to the cutoff man, and then if you used X, it would be a super powered throw. And you would, and basically people that had better arm power, and I would say, I don't remember if the accuracy was based on the fielding rating. It's just, again, different because they were limited to 5 different categories. But that was something that would come into play. How accurate it would depend on how good their arm was. So it would be conceivable that people would try to throw it to one of the bases and then completely miss. It won't go in the dugout. Like, there's not really dead balls in this game. The ball would just go to wherever and either keep rolling or stay there, and then you have to go chase it down. So you can see where that can get frustrating if you're having a rough go. Okay, so I'm doing pretty well with timing. That was one there. I probably should have caught that if I would have dove a little bit earlier. So gotta be a little bit sharper on that one. Okay, swing and a miss. A quick pitch here. He'll probably foul it off. There we go. Perfect. Get that out. That's another thing. I probably need another controller. The directional pad isn't the most accurate, so that could be a threat to chasing this record here, but that's okay. We'll make do with what we got. Alright, so we are now going to the top of the fourth. Third of the game is over. We're almost at 6 minutes. What we're trying to beat is 15 minutes and 22 seconds. Alright, so here, if you're just joining in, a lot of what the strategy is now that I already scored some runs is I'm just going to be dropping sacrifice bunts and purposely either swinging and missing or fouling or just really just trying to get out on purpose. I'll actually also be doing a run on Sunday, which will be, I messed that up too. If I would have pressed the button earlier and turned the corner, the out would have been registered faster. That's okay though, still good time. I'll also be doing a run on Sunday. It'll be around 11:04 a.m. Eastern time, and that's going to be the lose the game, which in some ways I think is easier, but I did a lot better on that one when I had that record. That one's at 14 minutes and 15 seconds, so that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, I think. Yeah, the biggest thing for me was I actually scored in the first inning on this run. That's something when I was able to beat the previous record holder's record, I was not able to get under 15. It took me like the second or third inning before I scored.
Strike one. Come on. Foul.
There we go, strikeout. Okay. Alright, so top of the fifth. Almost in the midway point here. And let's go ahead and Register 3 more outs. Something that happened a lot in this game is that the pitchers would usually stay in for complete games, and so you wouldn't see the bullpen as much unless you really torched them with scoring a lot of runs. In this case here, this pitcher's probably going to stand the whole time. You figure I scored 2 runs, and then other than that, I'm just getting out batter after batter, so there's no reason for that pitcher to be tired or anything. Whatever the algorithm is, it's going to register as, hey, this pitcher isn't tired yet. Alright, so 2 outs here, so we're about to hit the midway point, and we're in good shape. So just past 8 minutes, and now we just have to do the rest of it in about 7 minutes. And you figure, since again, because I'm not trying to get base hits and trying to score, now it's a matter of me just getting the outs. Okay, so that's a big one there. Something that might help me too is, even though my controller now, I have an 8-bit dough that's starting to wear out, the good news is that it seems like overall it was running better since it's shaped like a Super Nintendo controller. I'll hold it up for the screen here. It works better than the Logitech, because I like the Logitech controllers. Since they're universal, they're made more like Xbox controllers and PlayStation and GameCube kind of controllers. It's pretty good. Alright, so question here. How much time does a relief pitcher cost? Not too much in this case. I would say, because they don't have you warm up the pitchers, you literally could pause it, go in, put a relief pitcher, probably take about 5 to 10 seconds. Not too much. So in this case, every second is critical, so I'm not going to make that substitute there. I think actually Jimmy Stealth just beat that out, but I purposely pressed the button so that he'd round the corner and get tagged, so it would register as an out. So that's a strategy. If you're trying to cut some time, you'll want to do that. Alright, so Freddy Rivera keeps getting good bunts here. He's got no speed on this game, but he keeps getting good bunts. Alright, so we are at the bottom of the 6th. Same thing here, pitcher batting. You'll notice too with the players, they give them different body types. They try to model it based on the players, like in real life, in the sense that more muscular players or heavier set players had a bigger body type. People that tended to be more of a leaner body type had the more of the thinner look, the smaller look on the screen. And it was really, I think, just the 2 player models. Okay, so we have that there. There's some tricks with listening to the background of the crowd clapping to get the strikeouts, and in this case I've found that with the speed running, it seems like it's faster just to get the person to take the ground ball out, so that's what I did there, rather than listening for the cue of the people clapping. Alright, so yeah, we're at the top of the 7th now. We still have about 5 minutes to spare, so this is great timing. Alright, so yes, Frank Liberty getting his bunt base hits twice already today. Go figure. He might do it a 3rd time. Let's see. Oh, no, he's out this time. Okay. 3rd time was the charm for the defense there. They got him out. Alright, so I'm going to drop another bunt here. So something, too, the difference between this game and they play Take Me Out to the Ball Game, normally I would stand up and stretch, but since it's a speed run, I'm not doing that. So I'm going to stay seated. Yes, that is awesome. The Play the Game kid. That is really cool. Alright, so that's I think the first time I moved the pitcher off the pitching rubber there. So as I was going to say, a difference between this game and the first. Oh, there we go. There's the input error that probably is going to cost me a few seconds there. No good. But in the first Griffey game, you could actually change the players' names. So it's a shame that we weren't able to do that in this one. But that's why they came up with quirky names that were geared to be like the real-life players. And then even when I play it, sometimes I just pretend I know it's the real-life players, but sometimes I pretend that they're other real-life players, like more current players. And it's pretty cool. All right, so only lost maybe about 4 seconds or 5 seconds with that one accidental mess up on the throwing. They don't register errors on this game, so in real life that would have been an error, throwing to the wrong base. They just count runs and hits, and that's it. So the errors technically do happen, they just don't register them on the scoreboard. I think it was maybe a limitation, or maybe just they thought it was easier because this is pretty much an arcade style baseball game. All right, so bottom of the 8th. Now we have H.A. Coombs again. Swing and a miss, strike one.
Strike one.
89 miles an hour with that fastball. You'll notice that
Fly ball.
the color of the numbers of the miles per hour, so this is miles per hour, so anybody that's from a country that uses metrics, as you know with baseball, America will have miles per hour, other countries will have kilometers per hour, and they put the color scheme to match what type of pitch it is. So it's a good piece of intel if you're the batting team and you can see what they're throwing, because in real life the same thing too. Some people might have certain strategies. I know that I'm kind of just doing certain things with trying to get the quick outs, that it's definitely something to do. The specialty pitches will be yellow, curveballs are blue, changeups are like a light green, and then the other one, if you lob it, is in white. So if you play home run derby, the pitchers will be throwing all lobs to you. They do have hit batters in this game too. In the interest of time, I'm not going to take a hit by pitch. I'm just going to try to get the quick outs. Okay, so he beat that out. I'm going to run it into getting him out. Okay, so we're in good shape. We're trying to beat 15 minutes and 22 seconds. 4 more outs to go. So the main thing is just to stay calm and then quickly do it, and remember to hit the stop button. So we're getting close here. Okay, another one where he doesn't even have that good a speed and he beat it out. All right, so here we are, crunch time here. Got to do it in under 15:22. Yeah, this game was made as a combo simulation and arcade style, which I really like. I still to this day go back and play this. I play through a season maybe once every 3 years. I also put it on my SNES Classic. It was a pretty good one to put on there. All right, here we go, last out, and we have a minute to get it to beat the record, so this is great. It'll hit the stop when the scoreboard screen comes up. Okay, that's not good. This is going to be interesting now, because I'm getting, I believe, to the middle of the order, and these are all power hitters, and it's going to be harder to get them out. All right, so I'm going to take a gamble here and try to pick off the runner. Okay, that's lost time here. This is going to be really close. I got to get the out here.
Fly ball. You're out.
There you go, and we did it! 15 minutes and 1.5 seconds. So I think in the record books I'll probably put that as 15 minutes and 2 seconds. Yes, you can actually aim your bunts. It's the same way if you are pulling or pushing the pitch. You figure that if you have a left-handed or right-handed batter in that case, right is going to push it towards first base, left is going to push it towards third base. Alright, so yeah, that was pretty fun. I don't know if we're going to have time to do some quick home run derby. That's an interesting record that I've been practicing on a little bit more than this one, just because of how much harder it is. So yeah, we got this here. You can see the stats there. It's a pretty good run here. So only 1 strikeout. So again, with the interest of time, it's faster to get ground ball and fly ball outs than it is to try to strike somebody out on 3 pitches. If you can get them out in 1, it's really cool. All right, and then you look at the opposing team. So this is another part that I improved from the time from last year, is that I only gave up 4 hits. That was critical. Giving up a lot of base hits, it's easy to get outs, but it's still one of those things that just adds that extra time. And really, I only beat that by about 20 seconds. So again, not that was cutting it pretty close. There's not too much to shave off of there. I think one strategy that I was practicing before I went live was I was trying to use the Houston Astros. They actually have a bunch of fast runners on their team. So it's one of those things. I'm actually just going to hit reset for a moment here, and we'll go back to the title screen. I'll keep my eyes here on the Discord to see if it's okay to run maybe a couple rounds of home run derby. I'm not sure if the next people are up and ready to go, but I'll go ahead and keep going here. But yeah, I was trying to do a run with faster people, and what I did was I changed the batting order and put a bunch of people with the fastest speed at the top of the batting order and was bunting with everybody. But the problem I was running to was that if the bunt didn't work, then the rest of the batting order was too weak. So that's why I like Cleveland's batting order, because they're so balanced. That year, that was one of the highest scoring offenses, especially right after the baseball strike. It was something that was unexpected for them to be that good. Okay, so we're gonna just quickly go into Home Run Derby, and I'll wait for a cue if there's anything here. So I do a little bit. I play some Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, so I know there's some FF4 FE runners that are going to be doing runs in here, and so it's pretty cool. There's a lot of different flag sets they do for that, just the same way that if anyone that's played, let's say, A Link to the Past or Super Metroid, some of those different things with randomizing, pretty cool concept. Alright, so I have gotten permission to do one round of Home Run Derby, so really the timer doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to keep time for the sake of it, and we'll go ahead and hit start, and the record is 22. I share that with 2 other people, so this is one where the only way really to get it is you have to sit there and keep playing and playing. Alright, so that's a good start, home run on the first swing. Yeah, this was a Rare game. This was, again, when Rare was still with Nintendo before they jumped over to Microsoft. So this, I think, like Perfect Dark may have been the last one on N64. Was the last one. Oh, we'll take it out there. I have some other stuff that I've done, like just quick speed runs. Like for another baseball game, I did Major League Baseball. I've also done NBA Jam on Super Nintendo, the original and the tournament edition. The records are amazing, how people win with the lowest score and fastest time. Yeah, it's going to hit the wall there, so that's not going to be out. Yeah, this is tough. It usually takes me a couple rounds to get warmed up, which is okay. No worries about that. This is just great to even be able to showcase this mode here. This is so you'll see too, it's easier to hit home runs with Griffey. One thing you can do is you can drop them back in the batter's box, so it's a little bit easier to line up if you want to just swing from the back here. Alright, that's a foul ball. Yeah, so at least I didn't go for over on this. I had the nice start and then didn't get it. Alright, so that's another foul ball. We have only 2 more outs to go here. That one's going to be close. It's going to hit the wall. Yeah. It's funny if you go back and watch the run that I did for 22. I almost had 23, and the last one hit the middle of the wall in center field. It was really funny. I was laughing so hard. I was just so happy to tie the record. All right, so yeah, so that's going to be it for me today. I appreciate everybody joining. I'm going to hand it back off to the runners of the event here. Let me stop that timer. Thanks again. So please continue joining here, and I hope you have a great weekend, a great week watching all these different games. Just a lot of cool different runners, different backgrounds, different expertises. Really cool to see. And we'll go ahead and sign off with that. Thank you again.